My name's Elaine Ross, Global Brand Director for Aquila Catamarans. I'm standing aboard the all-new Aquila 46 yacht, so please join me on the aft deck as we work our way through this boat. So we're coming down into the aft cockpit, and you'll see aft of me or to the left, we have a beautiful cockpit table, seating for up to 10. Underneath the bench seat, we have storage throughout on both port and starboard side, as well as the center. To my right, we have a sliding door. We also have a glass cockpit bar top area that opens up. We'll come back to that as I show you the interior of the boat. But first, we're gonna work our way back to the aft port sponson and take a look and see what the features are back there. As I make my way to the port aft sponson, we're gonna flip this gate open. It does open fore or aft. We have 2 steps down onto the aft sponson. As I step around this deck hatch, this is access to your integrated swim ladder. What you'll see is as a fold-over step that opens up and slides out with generous handheld, so that if you're swimming, it's easy access on board or off board. Now further inboard on this boat, we have a fixed tender platform with an integrated crane, and I'll show you those controls as I step back up onto the aft cockpit area on the port side. Before I get there, when you do take a swim, we have a variable temperature, hot or cold water shower, fresh water obviously. We have a City Connect for your in-water to come into the boat, so it's pressurized if you are at a dock that offers that. And then forward of that, we've got our patented tender crane system. So it extends out from the Flybridge and then lowers your tender or jet ski down into the water. And then same in reverse for your retrieval system. So a very nice system. It's easy to use. One person can manage it. It's not a submersible tender platform. It is a fixed tender platform. It's very simple. Keeps it easy for everyone to use. So follow me, we'll step around and we'll start working our way to the foredeck and take a look at that area. On our way there on the outboard side, both on port and starboard side, we have 2 diesel infill, 1 on each side, 2 freshwater infills, 1 on each side, and then we have 3 wastewater pump outs. You'll also notice the generous stainless steel handholds throughout the Aquila as you make your way forwards. As you get to midship, there's 2 additional steps leading up to the foredeck, but there's a very specific reason for this, and I'll explain to you why that is when we get into the interior of the boat. So follow me, and we'll take a look at the foredeck. You'll see we've got 2 sun lounging pads. These are multi-position sun lounging pads. So the backrests here fold up into a different position. And then if you are seating and entertaining at the bench seat forward, this backrest also folds up, so you've got additional seating up front, so you make a very nice social zone. Behind me to my right, this is the hatch for the master cabin head, so a very nice ventilation hatch to let wind in. You also have a dolphin seat forward of that, and then as I stated, you've got 1 step down into the bench seat here, or bench area. This is a lovely seat forward. This backrest folds up, so you have a beautiful entertaining space. You have recessed cup holders back there. And underneath me, where you're seeing these deck hatches are for our ground tackle gear. And then to port and starboard, that's storage for fenders, water toys, and any items like that. On the left-hand side, or starboard side, you have a deck hatch that leads to a large cavernous storage locker for fenders, additional water toys. It's a very massive storage locker within there. So I'm just going to open up some of these lockers to give you a quick demonstration of what capacity they have. So this one is a port side storage locker, and you can see the volume that is in there. You are able to access your chain and rode through there also. Behind me, this is our forward compartment. That's where the chain and the rode will vacate the boat. We have a fresh water washdown as well as a saltwater washdown. We have our control for our windlass, and then obviously we have our windlass there. This below me is a mirror image of what's over on the port side. And then as we transition over to this area, I will show you how large this locker is. It has an integrated step ladder down, so plenty of room in there to throw all of the water toys that you need, or it's a perfect area to throw your rubbish if you are doing a long journey and to store it on board your boat. Lots of people can sit up here underway or at anchor, something Aquila really prides itself on. So now we're going to transition up to the Flybridge, and we'll meet you up there. As I make my way to the aft of the Flybridge, you're going to see we've got a tremendous footprint for entertaining up here. We have an L-shaped summer kitchen with an integrated grill. Below, you can option for a refrigerator or an ice maker. You have a farm-style sink below here with an extendable wand. And then aft on the Flybridge, you've got a ton of seating for guests up here to sunbathe and enjoy themselves. Underneath, you have storage on the outboard side. On the inboard side, we have access to our patented tender crane system. So if you have to work on the mechanism itself, this would be your access point. Forward of that, we have an L-shaped settee area, seating for up to 10 when the leafs are open on the Flybridge table. Underneath your seats, you have storage, and in additional storage, below the leaning post for the navigation center, aft, you have additional storage. And then throughout your summer kitchen area, you have storage below on this side as well as on the aft side. Before I make my way to the nav station, I want to point out the port side chaise lounger. Below, we have storage. It's a nice seating, generous seating for one or possibly up to two. And now working inboard towards our navigation station, you'll see that we've got seating for three. We have bolsters that fold up or down. And then forward of that, we've got a very nice integrated, centrally located helm station. Now what we've done by doing that is moving our stairs over to the starboard side, so we have asymmetrical stairs. That's really allowed us to generate a wealth of space up here, square footage or square meters. We really take advantage of that space. What that has also allowed us to do is bring the navigation station forward, and then we have a beautiful line of sight down to the bow from here, all 360 around the boat. So it really is a very, very good vantage point, safe and secure, and just a phenomenal navigation station. On the left-hand side, we've got a small glove box. We also have a USB connection for phones. We have 4 cup holders, 2 to port, 2 to starboard, and I'll work my way to the steering wheel and then outboard. We've got our control for our spotlight. We have our mini head unit for our Fusion Bluetooth. We have a mini unit for our C-zone control. We have our Fireboy system, compass, steering wheel, and then on the starboard side, we've got our Volvo Penta throttle controls. We have our Slipner bow thruster. We have our ignition system for Volvo Penta, and we have our VHF handheld. You'll also see that we've got very robust stainless steel handholds up here, so that if you do need to use them, they are ultra secure. Up top, we have 2 MFDs in this configuration. Their standard is 1 MFD, but you have the option to upgrade to 2 MFDs. Central of that, we have the Volvo Penta engine display. Below that, we have the Raymarine autopilot system. So that completes our navigation station. Down below, we also have access to our wiring chases and additional storage within there if you need it. And again, forward, if you look around, you have an amazing 360-degree view. One other item that I would like to point out that Aquila has done, which I really like on the 46 Yacht, is we use two-tone ceiling panels. What this does, instead of having pure white fiberglass everywhere, we actually use a light gray, and that makes it easier on your eyes when you do have reflection coming off the water. So follow me, and we're gonna work our way down towards the aft cockpit and take a look, start working our way interior into the salon. But before I head downstairs, I do want to point out also on the starboard side, we do have a chaise lounger for one. And this is a really great seat for little kids, even myself. I fit in there, I'm 5'9". I think we had somebody 6 foot in there. It's a great seat for an individual. So follow me and we'll take a look at the aft cockpit, the engine compartments, and then we'll move our way into the salon and galley area. Length overall on the 46 Yacht is 47 foot 2 inches. We have a beam of 23 foot 3 inches, a draft of 4 foot 1 inch, and an air draft height of 19 foot 5 inches. That means from the water line to the top of the hardtop, excluding your electronics. Now, powering this vessel, this power catamaran, standard is the Volvo D4 320s. We have an option to upgrade from there, which is your Volvo D6 480s, and then we have an option for Yanmar 550s. The boat is foil capable. If you do choose a foil, you must select either the Volvo 480s or the Yanmar 550s. The reason for that is when the foil becomes activated, it's typically in the range of about 19 to 21 knots, and that's when the foil starts generating lift on the boat. So to do that, you need additional horsepower to get over that curve. General cruise speed on this boat, on this power catamaran, is 16 to 18 knots with a top end of around 20 to 21 knots depending on your load. With the foil, that's obviously higher because once the foil activates, creates lift on the boat, increases your speed, reduces engine load, and ultimately you become more efficient and it becomes a much more comfortable ride also. So this boat is super capable, and now we're going to take a look at the engine room. This boat has been equipped with the Volvo D6 480s. On the way also, we are having the integration of the hybrid system. But in this version, we are equipped with the Volvo D6 480s. So I'll open up the engine compartment and we'll take a look at the size of the space. Paired to your engine package is a straight drive, machined stainless steel shaft with an integrated rope cutter. You also have a bronze propeller with a bronze P-bracket. Powering your system or feeding your engine package, you have a 476-gallon fuel tank. You also have an option for a 211 reserve tank. In terms of fresh water on board, you have 211 gallons and 63-gallon holding tank. So that's enough technical talk. Let's step inside and see where the magic really happens on board the 46 yacht. Before we step inside, I want to demonstrate the aft bar top area, which is very simple to operate. There's a push button on the side that releases the safety clip. As you push that, you give it a nice little tug, pops up. There's a safety clasp that grabs on that side to prevent it coming down. You give it a gentle nudge up. You can hear the clip that holds it in place. Now for the bar top area, it's got a safety clip here. Just lift that up, lower it down, and you've got a fantastic bar area that connects your aft cockpit into your galley, which then ties into your salon. So let's step inside. We have a full-size refrigerator freezer. We have a farm-style sink. Above that, we have access to our microwave. We have storage up here and below, so additional storage. 2-burner Kenyan induction cooktop. We have 3 drawers for additional storage. Below the sink, we have access to our trash or rubbish bin. To the left of that, we have additional storage below. And then as I pivot around, you'll see that we've got a very nice spice rack for additional storage. We have a drawer for our pots and pans. And then in the 46 yacht, you have an option to either equip the boat standard with drawer space, additional drawer space, or you can option it up for an oven, convection oven, or a dishwasher. So those are your choices in the galley area. You'll see we've got a lot of worktop area. So this is a Korean countertop. So a beautiful view out the entirety of the salon and galley area. To outboard starboard side, as we transition over here, you'll see you have an option also for a wine fridge. If you do not elect the wine fridge, that is additional storage space. Above that, we have additional storage drawer. And then just on the outboard side of that, we've got access to our climate control system for heating or air conditioning and additional light switches and outlets to power your systems. Behind me here is our salon table. So it is a U-shaped salon area. It does lower down with fill-in cushion, so you are able to use this as a flow-over sleeping area. Above me, to the outboard port side, we have a lowering TV down. This owner has not equipped the boat with a TV, but should you equip the boat with a TV, this is where it will be located. You simply turn the latches and the TV folds down, so a beautiful vantage point from your salon seating area. In this area, we have additional storage below the Corian countertop. We have one deep well drawer here. This is access to our electrical system, which I'll get into in a second. Here we have our VHF handheld. Managing the boat is our C-zone control system. And then we have our Fusion head unit. Large worktop area. This is a standard configuration. If you do wish for an interior helm option, there is that possibility. We offer the interior helm, which basically changes this area with a step up to an interior helm, which then becomes your secondary helm station. Your primary helm station is intended on the Flybridge. This as your secondary helm station, but in the event that you are traveling through a squall or some bad weather, this would be a perfect vantage point to do your interior helm work. Moving forward, we're going to take a look at the cabin spaces, but before we go into the cabins, I want to point out that this is a standard cabin configuration, which is a 3-cabin layout. We also offer the 46 Yacht in a 4-cabin layout as well as a 5-cabin layout. One really nice feature about the 4-cabin layout, and I'll explain it when we go into the master cabin a little bit more in depth, is if you do elect to go with the 4-cabin version, essentially you end up with 2 cabins in your starboard sponson. And if at the point you want to convert one of the cabins back, you can change from the 4-cabin back to a 3-cabin version aftermarket. So the factory or the shipyard provides a system where you can actually pull out the bulkhead and then convert a 4-cabin back to a 3-cabin. Now, when it comes to charter, the 5-cabin is really a great vantage system to have more cabins on board. And essentially what happens is you end up with 2 cabins in each sponson, very similar to each other. And then your center cabin here becomes your crew cabin, essentially. It's 2 bunk beds or positioned like this, excuse my hands. And then you have an access point hatch down with the ladder. So the captain and mate can actually keep separate from the guests on board and access their cabin and wet head. In the standard, the 4 and the 5 cabin version, each guest cabin and primary cabin has a full ensuite head with a separate shower and freshwater flush electric toilet. So let's step forward and we'll step down into the guest cabin, starboard guest cabin first, and then we'll transition over to the port cabin and we'll leave the best for last, the primary cabin. Stepping down into the starboard guest cabin, up above you've got storage, and down below you've got additional storage, or you have an option for a single combi unit washer dryer. This owner has elected not to install the washer dryer at this time, so we just have storage below there. Now stepping forward, or aft, into our guest cabin, we'll take a look at that along with the ensuite head. In the starboard guest cabin, we have an optional drop-down TV. The owner of this boat has not optioned his TV, so I'm not going to lower it. You have a tremendous hull-side window to look out from. The most important for the hull-side window is obviously the positioning of the bed. So we have an outboard-facing bed so that when you wake up or go to bed or take a nap during the day, you have a beautiful view outside of your window. Behind me is access to your ensuite head. You have a full stand-up separated freshwater shower as well as a toilet, freshwater flush toilet, as well as a single vestibule sink. Moving towards the headboard, you'll see that we've got a full-size mirror. In the nightstand on both sides of the bed, you have nice little cubby to throw your knickknacks in. You have power outlets, reading light, and then storage below. Behind the door, as you enter into the guest cabin, you have storage, additional hanging locker space, as well as drawer storage on both the inboard and outboard side. Stepping into the primary cabin, Aquila has really taken advantage of the 23-foot 3-inch beam. Behind me or to my right, you'll see that we have a king-size bed facing aft. On both port and starboard side, you have tremendous size, oversized hull-side windows. Above, you have additional windows to let light in. To the left and right of the headboard, you have storage, you have a countertop with storage below on both sides. You have outlets to power your cell phone or additional needs. You have light switches. And over on the port hand side, you have access to your climate control system. which is a very nice feature that you're able to control either your air conditioning or your heat from bedside. Now moving over to the starboard side, you'll see that we've got an island here. Going down, you have 2 steps only into the starboard sponson. This section is intended as a workstation area or a makeup section. You have a vanity that pops up open. You have storage, 2-drawer storage and storage above the countertop. And just to my left, we have a very large oversized hanging closet. Below the island here, on the back side, we have additional storage drawers below, and that's very similar to what I'm about to show you on the port side. This is a tremendous asset to be able to only have 2 steps going into the sponsons in a power catamaran. But behind me, you have two vestibule sinks. You have mirrors above, both with storage behind throughout. You have a porthole hatch. You have storage aft. Coming forward, you have additional storage here. Storage below on both sides. And then below on the island, you have additional drawers, 3 drawers aft, and you have a 2-cupboard storage here with shelving inside. Forward of me is the head, a separated head with a ventilation fan, as well as a deck hatch. Aft of me is a full-size shower. So as you step in there, you've got a beautiful teak grate, rain shower as well as a wand shower. So I hope you appreciate the size of the master cabin or primary cabin. She sure is enormous. It's definitely something you want to come and see anytime you are visiting in Aquila or interested in a 46 yacht. So a few more design features on board the Aquila 46 yacht power catamaran is that when you're at shoreside, the boat is powered by 2 50-amp shore power cords. If you are away from shore, you have your choice whether you're a 110 or 220 volt boat setup. You have your choice between various different generator configurations, as well as the fact this boat has 4 AGM 200 amp hour house batteries. You can option up to change that over to lithium ion package. So being away, maintaining power when you're away from shore, the boat is set up for that. It's a really nice feature to be able to throw different size generators on board to power the entire boat, depending on what your load or your usage is for what type of boating lifestyle you have. In terms of the boat as a whole, she's designed by VPL design team out of France. So she has a very efficient hull shape, built for speed, but also more importantly, built for foil capability. So we spoke about that earlier in how she's very efficient with the foil, but she's also super efficient without the foil. Now, in closing, I just want to say thank you for joining me on the tour of the all-new 46 Yacht Power Catamaran by Aquila. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us at aquilaboats.com or find one of your many international Aquila dealers or your local Aquila dealer in your country. Once again, my name's Elaine Ross, Global Brand Director for Aquila Catamarans. Thank you for joining me on this tour, and I look forward to seeing you on the water.